Hey everyone, this is Doug Kenny. I'm with Justin and we welcome you to Stories from Motorsports. Today we have Ricky Sanders, who's a Trans Am competitor that I saw race in Nashville last month. Hey Ricky, how you doing?
Doing great. We're glad to be on the show.
Glad to have you. So tell everybody a little bit of what you're known for.
Well, I started racing. I've been around racing pretty much all my life with my dad racing and grew up in the sport. I started racing myself when I was 17 and I'm 55 now, so I've been doing it quite a while. Done everything from circle track, short track stuff to NASCAR trucks, and now we do road racing and with the Trans Am series.
That's really cool. So we start these off with a question, which is where are you originally from?
I'm still here in Atlanta. I've been raised and grew up here in Atlanta. I'm in the Stockbridge, just a little bit south of Atlanta Airport.
Pretty cool. What made you get into racing, or what was your first glimpse of it?
Pretty much with my dad racing. I've been around it all my life, so I knew that I wanted to drive myself when I was younger, and just started when I was 17 and been doing it ever since.
Pretty cool. When did you make your first start?
That was in 1984 at Georgia International Speedway, a half-mile track close to here, and basically a hobby stock car, and just worked my way up from there.
Really cool. So, Justin, fire away with some questions that you have for Ricky.
All right, Ricky. So one thing I want to know is, what type of motors are in your race cars that you run?
With the Trans Am 2 class car, we're running an LS3 based engine. It is a full race motor built from the ground up for racing, dry sumped, fuel injected. They make somewhere around the 550 horsepower range.
Awesome. So anyway, Ricky, you forgive me, you said you've only done the Cup Series from NASCAR?
Yeah, I ran the truck series from 2000 to 2003. I ran the truck series.
Okay. Surprised I haven't heard of your name before, because I'm a big NASCAR nut.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed my time there, but we decided to go back short track racing. Then around 2010, I decided to go road racing.
That's really cool. Just a question, what's driving a sports car like compared to a NASCAR race car?
The TA2 cars are very similar. They've got 4 speeds like the current NASCAR car. They're lighter, but they've got less horsepower, so they react very similar. They're definitely not the same, but they react very similar. I've run some other cars such as Porsche Cup cars and stuff like that, and those cars do drive quite a bit different than the others, and especially with the paddle shifting and the different brakes and ABS and some of the driver assist that it has. The real sports cars do drive a lot different, but our TA2 cars are relatively similar.
That's really cool. What's the difference between Trans Am and Trans Am 2 and all the other divisions?
The Trans Am cars they're 800 plus horsepower, anywhere between 800 and 900 horsepower. A lot of them now have sequential shifting instead of H pattern stuff. They're usually at least 5 or 6 speed transmissions. They've got bigger tires, bigger brakes. As far as the tires, they're wider and they have bigger wheels with a little bit less sidewall than what we've got. So they're really a kind of a beast of a car. They have no driver assist whatsoever, no ABS, no traction control. They're just raw horsepower, relatively lightweight for the horsepower. Then a TA2 car has a lot of cost constraints to keep it more relatively economical to operate and to initially purchase the car. So stuff like the brake calipers, the shocks, even the brake pads, engine stuff, a lot of stuff has cost capped to where to keep the cars reasonable and to keep the cars easy to maintain and relatively cheap to maintain compared to some of the other cars.